Now time for the next of our two sets of superheats. It's Superheat A for Junior Rotax. Let's take you through the starting grid. On pole position, it will be Belgium's Matej Radenkovic. Joining him on the front row, the man from Sam Pollock Racing, Lewis Goff, is on the front row. Tom Streller and Junior Rotax debutant this weekend, Jacob Ashcroft round out row 2. Casper Nissen and Tino Sidler will be on row number 3. Lucas Sells and Timo Jungling row 4, and completing the top 10 is Jake Menton and Victor Galmiche. Sinja Pez Ornbol and Julian Kovacevic round out row 6. Row 7, it's Francisek Sulima and Mate Kobehidze. Row 8, Aaron Vida and Mathis Ometre, with row 9 being completed by Ryan Gandor and Matthias Jellerup. Completing the 20-strong grid from the UK, it's Zach Turner in the 275, and joining him, fellow Brit Ethan Carney on the 286 entry. So the drivers now making their way on the official formation lap ahead of 9 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. Matej Radenkovic at this moment has 2 wins and has a maximum score of 100 points coming into this race. If he picks up the win here, that'll put him on a maximum of 175 points going into the final later on this afternoon. The Micromax final will be at 14:30. Minimax at 14:55, juniors at 15:20, seniors at 15:45, 16:10 for DD2, and masters at 16:35. That is for Central European time. The timetable also for those watching is in the description for the YouTube live link. And a big thank you to nearly 460 people watching. As I say that, 460 now are watching this stream live and direct from the home of champions. So it's Matej Radenkovic and Lewis Goff on the front row. And Isaac Barker wishing Jacob Ashcroft, who's on the outside of row number 2, all the very best of luck. Let's see what happens as the drivers make their way out of the 12th and final corner. Revs rise, noise increases, lights are on, lights are out, we are underway. Good start by the inside row, including pole sitter Matej Radenkovic, and also including Tom Streller as they make their way through into turn 3 for the opening time. Mathis Ometre looking around the outside, and I think might have just gotten through on Tino Sidler. As through into turn 6 for the opening time. Lewis Goff looking up the inside of Tom Streller and has gotten side by side with the youngster from Latvia. Ashcroft also trying to get through at turn 7. Streller runs a little bit wide, a little bit deep. Lewis Goff gets through for 2nd, and Jacob Ashcroft gets through for 3rd at turn 8. And now another change of position. That will be more than likely Lucas Sells that has gotten up into 5th place, 2 wide going into turn 10. As Lewis Goff is in 2nd position. There's Timo Jungling, hot on the heels of Casper Nissen, and now past the young Dane through into turn 12. 2x2 hurrah a little bit further back, including the 203 of Victor Galmiche from France. Tino Sidler battling away with Lucas Sells for position. That's for 7th. There's the battle for P5. Jungling ahead of Casper Nissen. With 7 minutes and 40 seconds still to go in this first of 2 superheats. Casper Nissen still hanging on to the back bumper of Timo Jungling, coming out of turn 7 off the Europlan into turn 8. Now into the left-hander here at 9. The Dane trying to get through. Jungling defending on the racing line. But Radenkovic, Goff, and I can't believe I'm saying this, and Ashcroft round out the top 3 at the moment. Out of turn 12, lap number 2 completed. Fastest lap of the race is Jacob Ashcroft. 57 flat. So what is going to be the opportunity for Jacob Ashcroft? He was quicker by half a tenth in terms of Lewis Goff's pace, and Mateo Radenkovic, 57.285. And there is Tom Strellet in fourth, Timo Jungling, Kasper Nissen. They round out the top 6 positions. Kasper Nissen still hounding Timo Jungling for that 5th place, as the top 3 make their way down towards turn number 10 and sweep through the right-hander. The gap is starting to expand slightly between Goff in second and Radenkovic, who leads the way. Timo Jungling looking to score some solid points. 5th place in the superheat is 51 points. Ashcroft, that will be 63 for him, 69 for Goff, and 75 for Radenkovic, as things stand at the moment, with just under 6 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. Through into turn 6 they go once again. That's just after the top 5, as Lewis Goff again is losing a little bit of time. He's now 4.5 tenths of a second behind Mateo Radenkovic, and Goff was the slowest out of the top 3 through sector 1. And was the slowest through sector 2 by nearly a tenth in comparison with the driver behind him, Jacob Ashcroft, the young man from Western-super-Mare, who is now closing on the 251 and is now going to take full advantage of the slipstream. Goff gives him a little squeeze going to the start-finish straight and holds on to second. And Ashcroft, very much a determined individual, but Goff is not going to let him pass easily. Had a chat with Lewis Goff this morning, and he said, well, not bad for a first time here at Karting. I said, you think? Well, he's a multi-time IKR champion in the United Kingdom, and it's great to have him as part of the paddock here, along with the team here from Sam Pollitt Racing. Great to have them with us here at Karting Genk for this fantastic event. But now look at who's closing in. It's not just Tom Strellet, it's also Timo Jungling and Denmark's Kasper Nissen. They round out the top 6. We're about to complete lap number 5 very shortly, and Radenkovic has scarpered away into the distance. Gap was over 7.5 tenths after 4 laps. Now lap 5 gets completed. Radenkovic gets his head down, and the lead now expands to nearly 1.25 seconds. Strellet is now there with Ashcroft, so Ashcroft's got to make the ultimate decision. Do I attack or do I defend? And when you have one driver in front of you, well, Ashcroft goes for the move and up the inside of Lewis Goff, who drops to 4th place. That could be nearly 5th, because Timo Jungling's looking towards the inside of the 251 and he gets through. Kasper Nissen also gets through. So from what was 2nd at turn 6 now ends up to be 6th at turn 7. So very much the case that Radenkovic is like a rat up a drain pipe. He's scarpered away. That gap is going to be north of 1.5 seconds, maybe even closer to 2. Right, so lap 6 completed, and it's nearly 2 seconds. The lead between Radenkovic and Jacob Ashcroft. Tom Strellet, Timo Jungling, Kasper Nissen, Lewis Goff, Tino Sidler, Lucas Sells, Victor Galmiche, and the Netherlands' Jake Menton round out the top 10. But as I say that, there has been a change for 5th. Kasper Nissen now has overtaken Timo Jungling. And Jungling trying to fire back at him. And he's saying, come on, just stop fighting me. Just work with me. Let's move forward. And Lewis Goff, very much still in the mix for this battle for position, whereas Tom Strellet is going after Jacob Ashcroft. Now, considering the fact that last year, Tom Strellet was in Mini and was 1 point away from taking the European title. Now he's going up the inside of Ashcroft, who steers just out of harm's way to avoid. Good work there by the 2 from DHR. Now make that 3 karts from DHR in the top 4. Strellet in 2nd, Ashcroft in 3rd, Jungling in 4th. Nissen, Goff, Sells, Sidler are not that far away. 2 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. And Mateo Radenkovic is free and clear and away. He's checked out, 2.6 seconds up the road. Tom Strehler now stretching the legs on the 238 Lando Norris chassis underneath him. And he's got about a 2 to 3 car length lead over third place driver Jacob Ashcroft. Youngling, Nissen still hold their positions in the top 5. Sam Pollock Racing's Lewis Goff in 6. Lucas Sells now closing in on the Brit, heading down the start-finish straight. Will the French driver pull to the right-hand side, through into turns 1 and 2, looks for the move up the inside and gets through. Forces Goff a little bit wide coming out of turn 2, to be honest with you. But it's very nip and tuck as Casper Nissen now decides to fire it up the inside of Youngling, who's got past Ashcroft. Oh, that was very, very close between Youngling, Ashcroft and Nissen. Now that's Youngling up into third, Ashcroft to fourth, Nissen back down into 5th place as we head into the final 50 or so seconds of this race. So the gap between Radenkovic and Strehler has now closed down to about 2.6 seconds. Lucas Sells again looks for a move on the inside of Lewis Goff through turn 10, but loses all that momentum and has Tino Sidler right on the rear bumper. 2 more laps to go in this first of 2 Junior Rotax Super Heats. Strehler has closed the gap to 2.5 seconds. Lucas Sells has the fastest lap of the race, currently running in 7th position, 55.693 seconds by the 2:55 representing France. But the drivers will make their way down towards the Europlan, and as Mateo Radenkovic now will exit turn 8, the timer hits 0. So we've probably got about the best part of 1,700 metres of this circuit to complete. As Radenkovic now makes his way out of turn number 11 for what will be the penultimate time. Lap 10 out of 11 for the young man from Belgium. Very proud of his Serbian heritage. Looks over his right shoulder, does the old Ben Barnicoat and gets his head down and goes on to the final lap, and he's already through turns 2, now heading into 3. Gap between first and second position. Oh, as Lewis Goff has been passed by Lucas Sells. So the young man from the United Kingdom, the 2:51 from Sam Pollock Racing, drops down to 7th position onto the final lap. Has Tino Sidler not too far behind, the 2:10, the 2-time Rotax Max Challenge Switzerland champion. And Michael Hitchcock, you get a shout out for that one. One of the men who has been helping to run things over there in Switzerland. But the final lap is about to come to its inevitable conclusion, and the Junior Rotax Superheat A winner continues his success streak over the course of the weekend. It's Mateo Radenkovic that takes the win. Second, Tom Strehler. Third, it's Jacob Ashcroft by a whisker ahead of Timo Youngling. Casper Nissen takes 5th, Lucas Sells, Lewis Goff, Tino Sidler, Victor Galmiche, and also Matthias Jellerup round out the top 10. Jake Menton in 11th, ahead of Zach Turner, who started from 19th and finished 12th. Julian Kovacevic, Sinjapez Ornbol, Alan Vida, Ryan Gandor, Mathieu Sometre, Francisek Sulima, Mate Korbahidze from Georgia, and Ethan Carney rounding out the 20-strong grid, all finishing the 11 laps of racing.
Just a quick reminder to all micro and mini-max drivers, and having so quarter two and 12 today to get your t-shirts from the briefing room. So any micro and mini-max drivers that have done possible, but yet have got their t-shirts, and head to the briefing room before quarter to 11 today. Also, we have a steward saw, Sebastian Brown 131 plus entrance to report to stewards immediately. 131 Minimax, Sebastian Brown, driver plus entrance to stewards immediately. Thank you.
So looking back at the first of the 2 Junior Rotax Superheats. Well, Mateo Radenkovic got exactly the start that he needed, but the battling was behind him as the 201 from Belgium would start to pull away significantly into the distance. Jacob Ashcroft again showing his prowess as a new Junior Rotax driver, despite having won the BNL and the Euro Trophy this year in Minimax. Lewis Goff definitely was not afraid of having a bit of argy-bargy, but then you saw the likes of Timo Jungling, who would make his move on Casper Nissen early doors, then the likes of Tino Sidler and Lucas Sells would battle away. And it was a very, very close quarter affair between Lewis Goff and Jacob Ashcroft in the battle for what, at that point, was second place. Tom Strehler, following in the footsteps of Jacob Ashcroft, would get past Lewis Goff through out of turn number 6, and Timo Jungling would close on the 251 from Sam Pollock Racing very, very quickly before both he and Casper Nissen would pass the 251 from the United Kingdom in due course. Jungling would also use the Europolan to his great advantage, getting past Casper Nissen on multiple occasions, heading into turn number 7. Tom Strehler would then get past Jacob Ashcroft for second place, and then would start to move away into the distance. Lucas Sells and Lewis Goff would also battle away for position, whilst Casper Nissen tried his level best to get on better terms, as in front of Timo Jungling, but the 265 from the UK would get through, and then very shortly so would Jacob Ashcroft. Ashcroft, despite battling against his teammate, would go around the outside at turn number 12 on Timo Jungling on another great manoeuvre from the young man from Western-super-Mare. But the clean sweep for Mateo Radenkovic continues here for the Golden Trophy for 2023 in Junior Rotax.